All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow, and remember, no one is worthless, no story is worthless. Today, ladies and gentlemen, hey, I got a very, very special guest for you, and today we are here, to talk about gun violence, and, and he is also a motivational speaker, plus a advocate against gun violence. Please forgive me, people. All right. But joining me all the way from Toronto, our neighbors to the north there in Canada, man, please put your hands together for Donny Kashh.
How's it going? Again, thank you guys, Ty, so much for having me on this. I really appreciate it.
Hey, brother, man, no problem at all. Thank you, for just coming onto the platform. And,
of course.
As I said earlier, we are here, to talk about, gun violence, and you, sir, are, a motivational speaker and an advocate, against gun violence as well. And basically, let me just tell, the backstory real quick. We've all heard of, the expression of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. A lot, to some of us that applies all across the board. But for you, that really was true, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Donny Kashh was shot 6 times. I believe, is it the left leg?
So yeah, I got 4 in my left leg, 1 in my right leg, and actually 1 in my hand.
Okay, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 6 times. 6 times. So, he was shot 6 times. But fortunately, and, I'm just going to keep it real, man, blessed to be here. And I am blessed to have him on my platform. So once again, Mr. Donny Kashh, thank you, sir, and welcome. All right?
No worries, anytime.
All right. So let's just go right in. I'm going to talk about life in the beginning. Before any of this ever happened. Who was or what was the life of Donny Kashh on a day-to-day basis?
So Donny Kashh was someone that was and still is very into doing photography, into videography. That was really my thing. That was my actual full-time job. I was working with it's called Raptors Toronto, or Toronto Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
Not the basketball team. We actually do vinyl wraps. So we wrap cars.
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
I was doing all the head of media for doing all that kind of stuff, pictures, videos of all the cars, before and afters of the cars. And I was also very into my health and fitness and going to the gym at least 4 to 5 times a week. I was just really focused on this myself and just trying to create a brand for myself, whether it's do comedy skits or doing tiny little pranks for people and stuff like that. If you can go back to my Instagram, you can see some of those. That was really me, just enjoying my life and just trying to see where I could go with it and how much farther I could go and meet new people and stuff like that. So that was the beginning for me.
All right. Now, let me just say, I also, enjoy the fact that, hey, every day, look, you never know. You come on my page. Of course, I'm on here taking photographs. I'm up here doing video. But you can get some comedy as well. You may get a couple of pranks. But, that's just basically what a lot of social media pages and profiles are on these days. A lot of people are doing those. So, but also you talked about working out. You were, heavy into fitness or, weightlifting or what have you.
It was more like the weightlifting and just staying in shape and just getting trying to just get that ideal body that you've always been dreaming of. I was really chasing that and constant on that.
I want to move a little bit further, into, basically not the actual misfortune of the event itself, but like the day, of the heinous act, being in the wrong place and, wrong time or what have you. From a mental health perspective, can you just talk about the effect of like losing a limb or what have you?
It's definitely it's a life changer, 100%. I woke up 5 days later out of a coma to find my leg amputated. I didn't even know what was happening, and I woke up and it was gone. Mental health side of it, it was definitely a battle and a struggle. But the struggle and the battle, I wouldn't look at it any other way because it made me and built me to who I am now. So I feel sometimes it is unfortunate you have to go through certain situations, but if you look back at it, that certain situation brought you to and made you a stronger person than you were before. Mm-hmm. So I did go through the battles of like not wanting to live. I was debating, like asking questions of why me, of course, you know, just trying to figure out like why I'm such a nice person, such an amazing person. I'm always trying to motivate people, always have very high energy. Why did this happen to me? And then someone came and gave me a quote, and he said, "God gives his greatest battles to his strongest soldiers." And I took that in, and I'm like, well, that's a really good way to look at it, because when I woke up out of my coma, I woke up to maybe like 200 messages, and I was reading through them, and I went to just see people were like, "Hey, I remember you did this for me when I was living with you, or you had this." And I woke up so many messages of things I did for people that I didn't even realize I did. So it kind of gave me like a little bit more purpose, and like more like, you know, like people are watching me and like, people are looking up to me, and like I really gotta, like, in a sense, get through this, you know, and just be a strong person mentally to get through this. And like that's what it really helped me get through it, to be honest with you, because it gave me this job and this person I needed to be for others.
So, but now let me ask now, okay, you know, like the messages and stuff, those, man, that's great. Those are great motivators or what have you, but like, how key was it for you to have support from like loved ones or family towards you coming back from this?
Honestly, it probably made my whole experience what it was. It's like so many people coming to show love, seeing me, coming to visit me. I really had a huge support system, especially at work with the shop. Like that's my second family as well. So they were all coming to see me, and I don't think I would have gotten through it how I did get through it if it wasn't for the support and the love and that everybody was showing me from the very beginning of this whole situation. So it definitely helped a lot through it, just to know that like people had my back, and if there's anything I needed, they were there. If I wanted puddings, my friend would go out and buy 6 different flavors of puddings for me. They were just really, really there for me to make sure that I was good mentally, for sure. So it helped a lot.
In your opinion, like maybe not the darkest moment, but what was some of the, you know, ups and downs that you pretty much had to go through to recover to make this journey back to be with us now?
To be fully honest, there wasn't much ups and downs because there's so much love for me, and like at the very beginning, I was very distracted in just being alive and just being grateful and just trying to figure out what I'm going to do next and all that kind of stuff. Was where the dark times started coming in. It was when life started coming towards me, where I was living in a hospital. If I needed something, I hit a button and a nurse was there within 5 minutes. If I needed something to eat, if I needed something to drink, it was there. Like I didn't have to do anything. I could just sit there. But when I went, once I was finally done with the hospital, I had to go live in the rehab center to now learn to get exercise, do my occupational therapy, and to start exercising and getting ready to get a prosthetic. So that's now I'm starting to see other things now, getting different aspects, like working out, getting frustrated because I don't have the balance that I thought I had, and all that kind of stuff. So, and then also they had different timings of when people could visit you, so I wasn't seeing as much people. So then I started being more alone, and then I'm in a room with 3 or 4 people I don't even know, and like now I have to try to get to know them. It's just like now I'm trying to, real life is kind of hitting me now. The nurses aren't always there right away because they have other patients to deal with. So I started getting more in a darker spot, and like probably the darkest moment I had in the hospital was, and I guess anybody would go through this same situation, was I was supposed to get my fitted for my leg, and she was 4 hours late, and it was I guess something with the home, or she got a flat tire or something. I broke down. That's when the real life hit me, because I don't know why or how the aspect went, but I was sad. I was crying. I was punching the walls. Like I was like, cause that was the first time something was slowing me down. That wasn't like, it had nothing to do with me. So that's when you know what I mean? I was out of control. I didn't know, there was nothing I could do. If she didn't come, I wasn't walking or trying on a leg or anything. So that's when it started to really kind of put me in my dark little spell that I went through when I was growing and healing and stuff like that.
You bring up great points. You know, you bring up excellent points, because as you said, when you're in the hospital, you're pressing buttons or whatever, man, nurse, boom, right there for you. Doctor, boom, right there for you. Anything you need, it's right there for you. You know, you go to the rehab facility, and, you know, things are not as quick and fast as they could be, you know, and then, you know, you talk about the nurse 4 hours late, you're supposed to get fitted for your prosthetic. And, you know, man, what it sounds like to me is you being the active person that you're used to being. Going places that you're used to going, man. I don't need to say anything. I don't need to talk to nobody. I don't need to ask nobody for anything. You know what? If I want to go over here, I'm going to go over here. If I want to go over here, I'm going to go over here. If I want to go to the movies, I'll just go to the movies. If I want to go to the store, I'll just go to the store. But the fact that, okay, well, I need this to help me do this, and now I'm relying upon that, you know, let me just say, first and foremost, thank God for your inner circle. Okay?
100%.
Man, 1 trillion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, you've seen this as well, there are some who may not have that luxury of having people in their corner. And those dark times that they're going to go through may last a lot longer. You know what I'm saying? Than just the night, than the day, or what have you. Those, man, like, those are going to be some dark days ahead. But now let me ask about the prosthetic. What was that like? Like, you know, okay, you know you had to get fitted for it. You know you needed to, you know, to like function and do the things that you normally do. But just talk about like the process of getting the prosthetic, having it placed on, and for the first time you're, you know, up and about, and you're, you know, getting on your way to getting back to, you know, regular life again.
So the prosthetic, it's a cool process, to be honest with you, the way they have to do things, the way they cast through your leg and stuff like that. It's interesting because they have to take it actually cast, and then they mold it your leg to the actual cast. And then so then you have a bucket you wear. But at the beginning, you have to figure out your sizing for the bucket. So there's multiple socks you have to wear. Some are 3-ply, some are 4-ply, some are 6-ply, just to make sure that you get that snug fit, that your leg is nice in there. But during the beginning process, you don't have all the funding right away. So the way that they attach it to you is through it's actually like a belt that goes across your hip. Yeah, so it goes from one side of the back of the bucket, goes across your hip, and then goes to the front of the bucket, and that's what's keeping your bucket on.
Wow.
So it's very different. So you're learning how to have the pressure of wearing that sock, because now there's some people that it's full pressure around the whole leg now. It's a weird sensation, to be honest with you. And then also having that knowing that when you move around, it's pulling on your hip on the other side. But so you take, so it's a little different, just to put your head around it. So it's not like how you think you put your leg in and you walk. There's pieces to it and stuff like that. And if it doesn't fit properly, and it's not you don't have the right height, it hurts for walking, and it's not the proper way. So there's a lot of testing of just putting like little pieces of wood under your prosthetic, just to get your prosthetic to sit on your leg and you're balanced properly. And then that's a couple days, just figuring out the sizing and everything. And then once that's done, now you have to relearn how to walk. And when you go to take your first step, it is not the same as you would think it is. You are now kind of dragging, instead of your muscles pushing everything forward, you're now pushing your leg forward, and I'm an above knee, so I have a knee joint. Now you're lugging this leg with that is like 25 to 30 pounds added to you now, and you have to lug it and try to take the step, and then make sure that the knee is buckled properly so you don't fall. It's different. You have to use the bars. My first couple of steps, if the bars weren't there, I fell on my face 100%. I caught myself because it's not the same. You really legit have to fully relearn how to walk. It's completely different.
Seriously, just like listening to you talk about that, and, you know, just like the mental health aspect, you know, like that can be difficult, because seriously, certain things that, I mean, there are just things that we take for granted, period, you know, on a day-to-day basis, you know, whether it's breathing, whether it's running, walking, what have you, eating, it doesn't matter. You know, there are just certain things that all of us on this earth take for granted on a daily basis. And then when something is taken away from you and you have to readjust, you really don't think about those like types of things because it's like, well, hell, walking, yeah, I know how to do that. I've been doing that my whole life. I could just do it. No, I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
It's very true. Yeah.
And to actually have to learn these things, and when it doesn't happen for you the way that you want it to happen, as you said, that's when the frustration comes in. That's when the anxiety comes in. That's when the doubt comes in. That's when these mental health games start playing real heavy on the brain, because now we're talking about the unknown. All right. Yeah. And if it's one thing that sometimes we can be very afraid of is the unknown. We don't know what this is going to turn out to be. We don't know, and that can be scary. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you know anything about this show, we end on positivity. We don't end on that. We don't end on the opposite. We end on the positive side, okay? So, once again, shout out to all those who were involved in your getting back here to be with us and talking because, just that whole, aspect of you saying everything that you have to go through, I don't think people really, think about that or they take that for granted sometimes, and it's no fault of their own.
Yeah, what I'm saying there's quite a lot of this process, but you can definitely get through 100%. You gotta stay true to yourself and just really know that this is just the beginning of a story. This is the beginning of a new chapter, and there's a whole 20 other pages to be written. So you're just the starting. It's a new chapter. So don't look back at what's going on right now. Just know that this is a process. I'm gonna get through this, and I know that tomorrow, the next day, is gonna be better. 1% at a time.
It's funny, because we're talking about motivational speaking. So now let me ask: when you're doing motivational speaking, what are some key points that you want others who have been victims of gun violence to understand?
I want to teach people, my main thing is where I really hit on is getting past your trauma, not letting your past dictate your future or letting you hold you back. Because if you're living in the past, your future is going to be exactly like your past. So my thing is, and I'm writing a book right now, it's hopefully get it out in a next couple months, is the steps to take to get yourself to a positive mindset. Whether it's through changing your environment and changing how you live and decluttering your house, to eating more healthy, to going to the gym, to drinking the right amount of water, to getting the right amount of nutrients, changing what you're eating just to get you all in a higher vibration and a more positive way. Because it's not just one thing that gets you there. It's a group of many different things. So if you can figure out and understand what's going to keep you in that higher positive mindset, then go for it, because that's really what's going to help you. And that's really what I do and strive for when I do my talks, is just allowing people to, yes, that's what happened to you, and we're not ignoring what happened to you, but let's be thankful for where we are now. Let's what's the word for it? Not apologetic, but be forgive for what happened to you. A lot of people don't, and learning to love yourself and loving your new self. So that's really what I'm aiming for. Is just that's what I do for my talks.
And honestly, I think that's dope, because it's this could have went sideways. I could not be here. That could be the total downfall of this. But the positive upswing of this is, I'm here. It's the new me. It's still me, but it's a new me. But I'm here. I have a much clearer focus. My purpose is to let you all know that there's life here. You don't have to fall victim, to your own state of mind. Never mind the circumstances, but your own state of mind by itself can make you a victim of things if you don't, as you said, get out of that mindset. Declutter. You know what I'm saying? House full of stuff, get rid of it. All right? You like brighter colors on your walls? Get them painted. Okay?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You want more plants, things of that nature around? Get them in there.
Exactly.
Okay? You want to be as upbeat and as positive And so let me just ask you, when you are out here and you have done your, talks and, you have motivated people or what have you, what has been the response or what have been some responses from some of the people that you have spoken to about this?
Honestly, they're thankful that they didn't think that this mindset, they could create this mindset. It's a mindset that they've always wanted, the mindset that they've always chased after, but there was no actual book or steps, or maybe there is books, but there's no actual, like, someone just telling you, hey, these are the steps to take. There's some people don't know where to start. There's like 20 things you got to do to get where you want. You're like, it's again, anxiety comes at you because you don't know where to start. So when I do these talks to these people, I kind of just guide them in the right direction of, this is how we start. It doesn't have to be right away. Every day is a new day, but just the fact that you're taking steps towards it, you're changing your environment or changing whatever you want to change out of your life. As long as you're taking steps forward, and then not to hold yourself and be like, hey, I didn't get this done yesterday. It's okay. Now, but you acknowledge that you didn't get it done. So now you're still one step ahead of where you were before. So I just they're really just thankful and just able to guide them and put them in the right direction where they can now focus on the things they really want to focus on versus the negative stuff that was going on where they didn't want to focus on. They have more time to do the things they want to do. And then they figure out how to make more time for them to do the things they want to do. So it gets them onto a more positive beat and just get them onto a structured lifestyle where they can just figure out exactly what they want to do and go after it.
Hey, look, positive, structured lifestyle. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, because
no worries.
Well, man, but that's what's needed, and especially when you're overcoming something like this, man, you need as much positivity as possible, because it's very easy to be negative. Like, it takes nothing to have a negative thought. All you have to do is just look like, and then you're right back into this place. But if you look and you're like, okay, that happened, but I got this, I'm still here. And on top of that, I'm changing lives. I have not to say that I didn't have purpose before, but man, my purpose is to show others that they too can, have a life, and not only have a life, have a great life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, this doesn't, just hold you back forever. You know what I'm saying? You can go out here and live your life. So hats off to you. Hats off to you, Mr. Donny Kashh. All right. So now talk to me a little bit about this amputee motivation platform you have here. What's all that about?
So when I first started the hospital, I found out, I'm going to be an amputee. I'm going to get a prosthetic. What is that like? What is that life like? How am I going to look like when I'm walking? And is there some other amputees I can talk to kind of grasp your head over what is going to happen in your new future and what is going to go on? And not saying that the hospital's fault, but I thought there was a little bit of a lack of it. There wasn't as much information as you would hope so, because they don't know. They're all able-limbed people, so like they only know what they've been taught. And then also just learning how to walk. I would Google videos, and unfortunately, all the big companies with the microprocessors, which a lot of people they're not going to get the funding, unfortunately, to get. You're watching all those videos and they're walking like nothing happened to them. So it doesn't give you like a real look of what your life may be like. So I started going through the whole hospital system. I met a couple other amputees when I was in the rehab, and I was motivating them. And I was like, okay, there's something going on here that I'm doing that's right. And I just realized that like there's lack of information, and how do I give this information to other new amputees and other amputees that are just going through situations, or even just giving them like a support group where they can know someone that's in Chicago, or you know what I mean, and still talk to them and get information, just bounce each other's questions off each other. So I created the amputee motivation while I was in the group. In the rehab center. I got a bunch of them to join the group because I knew that they would help with me. And then I also just went and started searching for new amputees and just saying, hey, do you want to be a part of this group? You could be an active person, or you could just watch on the sidelines, and either or, it doesn't matter, as long as we're helping each other and we're supporting each other. And then basically what we were doing weekly Zoom calls with each other, setting goals for each other and holding each other accountable for the goals and stuff like that, just to get us on our feet and going forward. For someone may not be helping you, now this group is definitely here that can push you and make you strive. And now you're watching all the people in your group that you're still following and watching. Oh, this guy just did this run. This guy just climbed this mountain. Oh, that guy's skiing. He's on a bike. And you're just like, wow. Now you wake up and you're just like, okay, you know what? I can do this. And if this guy's doing it, I definitely can do it, you know? So, and then it makes you also want to do more things. Or like I thought maybe I couldn't ride a bike. And then I see one of the guys in the group, Kyle Stepp, he's riding a bike with one foot. And now I'm just like, wow, I'm like, when can I get my bike? So yeah, I was like, so why can I get my bike? And I just started realizing like, there's a lot of things that we can do, and just watching these people, it's inspiring. So I get inspired from them too. So it's just a very good group, you know, just if there's other amputees watching this, you can definitely join the group, talk to us. It's just a very good place where we just spread love and positivity.
Look, I mean, I guess there's nothing for me to say, but it's motivation for those who are amputees. You know, that's the name, amputee motivation. Okay, and
even people that aren't amputees too, because they see that we're doing it, and like they're maybe holding themselves back or thinking of doing it themselves, and they go, okay, well, this guy's doing it. Like, what's my excuse? You know what I mean?
But no. So look, you know, if people want to reach out to you, people want to contact you, if they want to, you know, see what everything you have going on, whether it's social media, email, website, how can they do so?
You can just find me on Instagram, Donny Kashh with the K and 2 H's. You just find me there, reach out to me, send me any message, ask me any question, even if ask me the questions. Like a lot of people ask me questions, they think it's, oh, I'm so sorry for asking that question, or sorry for asking you a weird question. Just ask your questions, be curious, you know, so you can learn some new things. Like, cause you never know who you're gonna meet later on. And the questions that I answered for you, you may be able to give the answer to someone else that may be going through that situation or whatever. So I speak really freely about it. I'm very open about it, just to let people know and just to teach them and guide them in the right proper way.
Before I ask my last question, I want to ask this question because I'm curious, you know, and around here we talk about leaving empty. And basically leaving empty means when we leave this life, we've done everything that we needed to do. There are no regrets. You live life the way Donny Kashh wanted to live life. Donny Kashh did the things he wanted to do, this, that, what have you. So when you leave and you leave empty, what do you want your legacy to be for those who have come in contact with you throughout life?
I want my legacy to basically know that people are not defined, again, by their traumas. They are stronger than they think they are. I also want them to know that it's okay to ask for help if you're going through situations, your mental health or whatever it was. It's okay. Like, what you're going through there's nothing wrong with you. People go through it. What's wrong is not asking for help or trying to look for help or getting help. You know, so my legacy, I really want people just to know, like, you can do it. You can get through it. It may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow, but you're definitely going to get through it. And just to keep striving forward and to make it your day, to make it someone else's day better.
Mr. Donny Kashh, come to the last question, the question that my show is known for. So I got to ask it. What is the one word that best describes you and why?
I'd have to say energy. That's definitely the word I'm going to use. I know I do, and people have told me I walk into rooms and I make them brighter. I'm always, you people are having a bad day, I'll figure my way to make you smile, make you laugh. You could be having the worst day of your life. So I just bring that positive energy to people just to uplift them and just make them feel good, and just know that, like, if I'm going through it and I can get through all this, you definitely can, 100%.
Man, once again, I just want to thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Man, no problem at all. And look here, when you're done with that book, man, let me just say this to you right now, Donny, okay? You are now considered family. You are now considered family at Word with Ty Brownlow. So when you're done with that book, you got to come back, all right?
100%.
All right, come on, man. Like, man, I don't have to go looking for you now, Donny. All right. No, man, no, brother. But please come on back and, man, spread some of that positivity with us.
It'd definitely be an honor for sure.
No problem. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I've been your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can follow me all social media platforms, Word with Ty Brownlow. Or you could just go to my website, tybrownlow.com. get this wonderful, positive conversation, plus other great interviews as well. Donny Kashh, we out.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
Take care, brother.